Good morning. Today we are correcting CO26. I can write, identify, and find equivalent ratios. Remember, when we're working with ratios, it's the same thing as doing equivalent fractions. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. You multiply both sides by the same number, you divide both sides by the same number. So finding equivalent ratios, there could be numerous answers. Okay, we came up with some for 4 to 5, 10 to 12. Did we do 8 to 1 in class yesterday? No. Okay, so you could have, if you multiplied both sides by 2, 16 and 2, or 24 to 3. Somebody have a different one. Callie? Times 4, so what did you get? 32 to 4. Look at 3 to 6. If we times it by 2, we would have 6 to 12 or 9 to 18. Madison?
I got 32 to 4. Wait, no. Yeah.
For 8 to 1, 32 to 4. But if we look at 3 to 6.
Oh, no, 12 to 24. I got
12 to 24. So what did you, so you multiply by 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at 10 to 12. If we multiplied by 2, we would have gotten 40 to 24. If we divided by 2, we could have gotten 10 to 6. So it's not always having to multiply with the equivalent. Sometimes we can divide. We're simplifying down. Any questions? All right, our circle. We did the 3 to 1 together. 3 to 1 is equivalent to 18 to 6, which is equivalent to 9 to 3. We did discover that some of the ratios in the circle do not match up with some of the given ratios. So we did not have to use them all. 18 to 15 is equivalent to 6 to 5 and 12 to 10. Because if we simplified it down, we would have had 6 to 5. If we divided that 3 out, then we could multiply it by 2 to get the 12 to 10. So sometimes you have to simplify down in order to multiply up to see what's equivalent. For 9 to 21, that would be 3 to 7 and 30 to 70. Because if we divide out that 3, we're left with our 3 to 7, multiply it by 10, and we can get our 30 to 70. 3 to 4, multiply it by 2, and we get our 6 to 8. 10 to 18, if we divided out a 2, we got 5 to 9, so we get 5 to 9. Then we multiply it by 3, and we can have 15 to 27. And the last one we did together, 30 to 10 divided down to 3 to 1. So that gave us the same ones as the 3 to 1 up there with 9 to 3 and 18 to 6. Madison, did you have a question?
Oh, I was just asking if we did 30 to 10 together. Because I was surprised that I got all 3 right. And I was like, I wonder if we got those together.
We did do that one together, yes. Anybody confused or not sure about what they did wrong? Sawyer. So Sawyer, you weren't here yesterday, so you can watch the video, and when it's work time, I can answer any questions you have, but it would help if you watched the lesson from yesterday. It might clear up some of our questions. But just know that when we're working with equivalent ratios, it's just like equivalent fractions, multiplying both sides by the same number or dividing by the same number. Anybody else questioning? How did we do on that one? Did we miss some equivalent ratios? It's easy to miss some equivalent ratios. That just reminds us that we need to really slow down, simplify down, and see what we can multiply up to. On the bottom, the ratio of girls to boys in a class is 3 to 2. There are 15 girls. How many boys are in the class? How many total students are in the class? So we know the ratio is 3 to 2, and that's girls to boys. So I labeled it girls to boys, 3 to 2. I knew that there were 15 girls, so I could put a 15 under the 3. To go from 3 to 15, I'm multiplying by 5. So I needed to go over to the boys' side and multiply by 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So I know there are 10 boys. Then our last question says, how many total students in the class? Well, if I know how many girls there are and I know how many boys there are, what do I have to do to find that total? Lilia? Add them together. So I'm going to add my 15 girls with my 10 boys and I get 25 total. So you need to make sure that you answered both questions. On the test, there might be multiple questions or multiple steps in the question. You need to make sure that you do everything in those word problems. The ratio of dogs to cats in a store is 8 to 5. Dogs comes first, so dogs is the 8, cats is the 5. There are 40 cats. So underneath the cats, I went to 40. How many dogs are in the pet store? How many total dogs and cats are in the pet store? So I know if cats were 5, and then I go up to 40, that's multiplying by 8. So I need to multiply my other side by 8. So 8 times 8 gives me 64. So I know there are 64 dogs and there are 40 cats. To find the total, I need to add them together to get 104. How are we feeling about the word problems? I like how some people are showing me that thumbs up. They're giving me a nod. Anybody have any questions? Want to go over it a little more? All right, if you are watching this at home, or did you have a question, Madison?
No.
Okay. If you are watching this at home, we hope you are well. We hope you have a wonderful day.